What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I recently checked out this sort of a history lesson on the Library of Congress's website called The Original Black Elite, Daniel Murray in the Story of a Forgotten Era. Now, Daniel Murray at the time, in the late 1800s, came from Baltimore to D.C. This is a few years after slavery, and he worked for the Library of Congress for 52 years. He was a part of the Washingtonian Black Elite class at that time. He had 5 children. 2 of them went to Ivy League schools, and they talked about some of the issues that the Black Elite had at that particular time. But even now, there are people. We have like Dr. Umar Johnson, and I've heard guys. Who's the one guy that's always Dane Calloway? There is some hatred, or I wouldn't call it hatred, but some discontent from those people in the black community towards high achieving, successful African American men. We see it mostly from lower achieving black men in our society, but we also see it from both high achieving and lower achieving academically or professional black women. And there is some sense that for those black men who have accomplished something, that they owe the black community everything. Boyce Watkins once said that about Michael Jordan, that Michael Jordan should be giving away his shoes, and Michael Jordan should be giving away this and that for poor kids because they're killing each other in the street over Jordans. And this is why nobody takes Boyce Watkins that serious in the male sector, because he says everything that he won't do himself. And anybody who has become successful won't just give away what they've worked for to anybody. It doesn't make sense. You want to give to charity, sometimes fine, but you don't owe anybody anything. And that's the topic of this conversation. What do black men who are high achieving owe to the African American community? Some people are going to disagree with what I'm going to say today, but I'm going to say it because it has to be said. High achieving people who have worked for what they have, in spite of their own personal circumstances, especially in black America, don't owe anybody shit. Okay? I'm going to tell you why that is. You create a culture of people who consistently want things from you, or consistently want to do things for you, and they don't want to do those things themselves. That's the culture that it creates. So what happens is, when you start doing things for people, usually, look at how aid works at the IMF Bank in certain countries in Africa, it creates a culture of dependence. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that there are not people in the black community that want to do something, but then there are people who think that you should do something for them, and they don't want to contribute them themselves. They don't want to do anything in that certain industry. They want you to do it for them. They don't want to contribute. They just want to take. And so people then become upset with you because you don't want to do shit for them for free. People become upset with you because you don't want to do what you have built and worked on and give it to them. They don't want to put that effort in. I'm not talking about everybody. Certain people don't in the black community. And when I hear people like Dr. Umar Johnson complain about the black elite status, and when I really analyze a person like him, he's a person that wants somebody to give him everything, but he doesn't want to do any work. That's why I come for him so much, okay? Because you don't want to put in the work like other people are putting in the work, yet they're supposed to come in and give you everything? The answer is no. The answer is no. I myself, and for those of you who personally know me, the Solo TV 84s of the world, Kevin Samuels, people like the Obsidian, these guys just have a small idea of what I went through personally every day. George Macon, guys like that. But you had to live here to be it, to see it. Going to class 8 to 9 hours, running a company with 9 employees, and getting maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep for an entire year. Just to try to pass a class. Or having to take a retake and have to pass. Having monthly expenses of over $15,000 every month. Then you have some idiot. And I'm just talking about this platform who emails you, oh, let me come onto your platform for free that you built up. Or can you mention out my video? Then the answer is no. Okay? I'm just giving you my own personal example. There are many African American men in the black world who have worked hard for what they have, who didn't get that much help from anybody. And then you have women that feel, well, they're going to come here and start creating for this class. What is the reason that they should do it? Okay? That's the thing about it is this. And people are going to get mad. Well, all elites create for their people. That's true to a certain extent. But they don't create for everybody. The people that they are creating for, it has to align with what the core values of the business are. Apple is a great company. Do they hire everybody? No. Google is a great company. Do they go to the inner city, hire everybody? No. Why? Because if you want to work for Apple, there are certain qualifications that you need to have in order to be hired. We're not talking about fucking job. We're not talking about job charity here. You're in the black community, I'm just going to create a job for you. No. The answer is no. The answer is if you're qualified, and let's say if I own a farm, I own a poultry farm somewhere in Kentucky, or I own a pig farm somewhere in Kentucky, and it's $1 million project. You better be an agricultural farmer with a master's or PhD. So, okay, I'll go to North Carolina A&T, or Alabama A&M, and Florida A&M, or Prairie View A&M, for a person that has earned and has done the job enough, and then I'll give that person the job. That's different than I'm going to the inner city and giving people jobs for no goddamn reason. The answer is no. Okay? The answer is no. And this hatred for high achieving black men and black people is ridiculous. The hatred of the black elite, why? Is it because you didn't achieve much yourself? Why do you hate the black elite so much? Why do you hate professional people so much? I'm trying to understand. Even on YouTube, do you know how hard people have to work on platforms? Like, this is ridiculous. And the hatred towards talented people who actually work and they think that you should get something for free, the answer is you're not going to get anything for free. No. You're going to raise up to the same standards that people in the black world had to do to get to where they're at. If you're not, stay at home. If you're not, go someplace else. That's the answer now. It has to be that. Don't ask people for what you're not willing to put the self in. And I found that out with Dan Calloway in his interview with Judge Joe Brown. Oh, I hope the black bourgeoisie like you die. Judge Joe Brown went to UCLA law school in 1973. And you have a guy like Dan Calloway talking to him like this. Like, for the love of God, bro, like, what are you talking about? This is a guy who worked all his life. So he should die with the black bourgeoisie because you disagree with what he's talking about? That's how a lot of people really feel in black America. Like, oh, you're talented and you worked hard, you should die. Like, what? This is ridiculous. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.